Hello and welcome to Roush Stadium in Kettering, Ohio for our MVCC City Barbecue Game of the Week for week number 3 as the 1-1 Milford Eagles take on the 1-1 Fairmont Firebirds. Last year these two met up down in Milford, and these two teams, it was an offensive onslaught by the Firebirds winning 42-0. Senior running back Jesse DeGlow had 4 touchdowns and 161 rushing yards, and the Firebirds dominated nearly every aspect of the game, including time of possession, turnovers, and third and fourth down percentages. If the Firebirds want to win again this year, it looks like they have to do is keep feeding the ball to DeGlow. Jeff, how did the Eagles fare last week?
Well, the Milford Eagles picked up their first W of the season last week, beating the Dixie Heights 50-14 in dominating fashion behind both quarterback Hunter Johnson and running back Cameron Kells, each combined for 3 touchdowns apiece and over 400 yards of total offense. If the Eagles want to try and come into Kettering and sneak out of town with a win, they will have to keep those two offensive players on a hot streak. And Jared, what about the Firebirds?
For the second straight week, the Firebirds were in another tough game that was decided by one possession. The Firebirds made the trip to North Mountain High School in Inglewood and took on the Thunderbolts. The Firebirds had 4 turnovers in the first half that ended up costing the game a 24-21 loss in week number 2. Jeff, how about you introduce us to Milford head coach Tom Grippa?
Well, Grippa has a 182-102 overall record and was the elder head coach from 1987 to 1996. And then the Fairfield head coach from 1997 to 2002, and then LaSalle head coach from 2003 to 2012, and since then he has been the Milford head coach, so a lot of experience. And how about Mr. Miller on the other sideline, Jared?
Fairmont head coach is Dave Miller, a 95-35 overall record. Covington head coach from 2007 to 2015, and last year he was the 2017 OHSAA Division I head coach of the year.
Very impressive.
And Jeff, what has to happen for Milford tonight offensively to pull out the win?
Well, definitely do not let Johnson and Kells cool down. Last week they led this team to their dominating victory, and they will be the determining factor for the game offensively for the Eagles if they want to have a chance. And they have to have better time of possession. Last week you had the ball for just under 17 minutes, and last year against the Firebirds held the ball for 15 minutes, and so that's going to be very detrimental if they don't do that. And Milford defensively, they have to stop Jesse DeGlow. Yes, last year he had over 160 yards and 4 touchdowns against you, and he is on a dominant roll again this year, and it's looking like he'll do around the same. So halting DeGlow will definitely be a key. Also, forced turnovers. Last week the Firebirds had 4 turnovers. They have to ramp up the pressure, and maybe you can get the Firebirds off their game and steal a win, but definitely going to have to tilt their time of possession, Jared, and ball control. But what about Fairmont keys to the game?
For the Firebirds, it's simple. Keep feeding DeGlow. Jesse is having another phenomenal year so far, 260 yards, 3 touchdowns, and averaging 4.7 yards a rush. Another one is keep running. Milford is dead last against the run so far this year. So if you have any game not to pass, which Miller has quite a few, this will be the one. Just keep pounding the ball until you break it for a huge gain. And finally, offensively, you have to hold on to the ball. 4 first-half turnovers lost you the game last week. And you know you need to hold on to the ball if you want to win the game, especially with the rainy conditions we have here tonight. Defensively, you said it earlier, had to watch out for Jefferson and Kells. They had a great week last week in week 2, and for the third straight game on the road, maybe a few trick plays, Milford might try to sneak out of here and get an upper hand early. And Jeff, who do you think is going to come out on top tonight and why?
Well, I think the keys of the game kind of foreshadowed. It's definitely leaning towards Fairmont, a 42-0 victory last year at Milford, and this year they're at home, running very well already this season, keeping their system intact, and Milford, you just said it, is last against the run, Jared, and I feel like Fairmont will utilize that very well.
I think the Firebirds are also going to come out on top here tonight and get back to a winning record, 2-1. Before going into the tough stretch of conference play, I think Fairmont will cruise to an easy victory tonight, as they're going to keep it simple and probably just ground and pound throughout the whole night.
Yeah.
But it looks like it's about time for the national anthem, so we'll toss it down to the band, and we'll be back for your City Barbecue Week 3 MVCC Game of the Week. we are just about ready for kickoff, and it looks like Fairmont is going to be kicking off for the Firebirds. It looks like number 93, Asher Rome, will be doing the kicking duties, and back deep for the Eagles to receive. Looks like it will be, well, let's let them line up first, and then we can see. Looks like number 15, number 2, Dylan Hughes, and number 26, it looks like Cameron Hemritt.
And a gloomy one tonight in Kettering, Jared, as week 3 of MVCC high school football reminds us that fall is approaching soon.
The ball is set, Asher is ready, and the Firebirds are ready, and we are ready to kick off week number 3. Kicks it right down the middle of the field, and it will go into the end zone for a touchback, so the Eagles will start this drive at their own 20. All right, Jeff, let's get it early, get it out of the way. Tell us about Trey Baker.
No, I'll save it.
We'll wait. All right.
Well, number 42, the junior linebacker, has been a sensation for the Firebirds defense for 2 years in a row now, and already kicked off the year with amazing games so far against Alter, recording 10 tackles, a sack, and an interception, and last week recording 8 tackles. So one of the top middle linebackers in GWalk, no doubt, and looking like a D1 prospect early in his junior year. Definitely will be the player to watch on the Firebirds defense.
Johnson takes the ball, fakes the handoff, and throws a slant into the middle of the field, and it'll be enough for a first down. It's caught by number 5, Caleb Johns of the Eagles.
And what our eyes will be on this week, Jared, is how the Firebirds handle the passing offense, as their defense last week was shredded by former Firebird Miles Johnson and the Northmont win. So definitely going to have to react to these passing offenses better.
Johnson hands off to Kells. Kells cuts it back to the right, and he maybe has a gain of 4 on the play. Actually, that was a carry by Engelman. And there you go, your player Baker with the tackle.
Oh, he's just getting started.
Oh, well, it's only the second play of the game.
And so is this Milford offense as they take another snap.
Johnson back to pass, throws a bullet to the outside, and it's just out of the reach of number 2, Dylan Hughes.
And a rare
so far, a rare incompletion
timing,
for Johnson so far this year.
And Hunter Johnson, a 6'2 junior, settling in as Milford's starting quarterback. Is this his first year, Jared?
I believe so. I didn't really look into the stats that much for last year, but I did not see his name that much.
Well, they lost 42-0, so I'm figuring it's his first year.
Johnson back to pass on third down. And it just a little bit too high, intended for number, it looked like 18, Jake Ayler.
Looked like approximately 3 feet over his head almost. So not the best opening drive for Johnson in this Milford Eagles
on the
offense.
road.
Yeah. It is slick. Their offense is based off the pass, so we'll see how that reflects on their confidence moving
Number
forward.
52, Brian Stevens, on to punt for the Eagles. It's a high end-over-end punt,
Fair
and
catch
Fugate
called.
calls a fair catch, and he drops it. Let's see who gets on it.
And early mistake.
Milford signaling Milford, and Fairmont signaling Fairmont.
And it looks like Fairmont ball.
And Fairmont falls back on it.
So
that is a special teams play that the Firebirds did not need to let happen to them
they got
tonight.
very lucky there. That was a super close call. Chase Fugate, to my guess, is going to get a very stern talk on the sideline.
That's where you run off behind somebody else so the coach doesn't see you come to the sideline.
And now comes head coach son, Braden Miller, the triple option quarterback. The lead on star senior halfback, Jesse DeGlow, who take the carry
Gets
here.
the carry. He cuts it back into the middle of the field and gets out across the 30. About a gain of 5 on the play for DeGlow. 37, Hayden Johnson with the tackle for the Eagles.
So they'll bring out the receiver here.
That's a decoy.
A slight change on formation.
DeGlow gets the carry again, plows right up the middle, and he'll be about a yard or two short of the first down.
So 2 back-to-back successful plays for the Fairmont offense, and we'll see how often that inside dive works tonight.
Just when it doesn't work, they'll dive to the outside.
Well, sometimes it seems they do it 20 times to where everybody is wondering why they're doing it, and just when they were wondering
that 21st time, it's going to be a pass.
It breaks it.
Miller hands it to DeGlow. DeGlow will be close to a first down.
Yeah, he definitely crossed.
Yeah.
So the first down for the Firebirds offense tonight. And that's exactly their type of play.
Ground it and pound it.
As long as that clock is ticking, the Firebirds are content.
You see Ryan Hall out here covered by number 1 for the Eagles, Tyrell Franklin. He's 5'9", and Hall is 6'4", so obviously a height advantage towards Hall if they ever want to pass it towards him. Braden's going to keep it, and he's upended right at the line of scrimmage.
That's a loss, actually. Loss of 1. And Jacob Turner, number 11 for the Milford Eagles, on the tackle. Nice read for the senior.
I mean, I'm standing here looking at the height advantage, and I'm just wondering why not.
Ryan Hall definitely is an athlete of his own category.
Miller will hand off to DeGlow, and DeGlow will be gain about 5 as he approaches the 40. 85 with the tackle for the Eagles, Connor Foster. So 3rd and 5 here. And I would assume if you're the Firebirds, depending on what he picks up, this could be 4-down territory. Play clock's already down to 10. Now it's at 5. Miller hands off to... I did not see who that was.
I believe that's Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jackson.
Excuse me.
With a tackle. He maybe got to the line of scrimmage, but if not, it went backwards. Nice first defensive trip out for the Eagles, forcing them in a relatively short drive. And on to punt for the Firebirds is Ryan Hall.
Well, number 55, senior center Connor Bunce for the Firebirds will have his hands full all night, as you saw.
Hall sends a punt to the sideline, and it will see where it goes out of bounds.
I don't know if you saw that defensive tackle, Jared, for Milford, but Connor Foster is 6'8", 285 pounds.
Oh my!
So definitely a clog in that defense, and especially when Fairmont likes to run the dive most of the time out of the triple option. So
dive away from him.
It'll be interesting to see how they react when playing around that as Milford comes back on.
About a 29-yard punt for Hall as it went out of bounds at about the 21. So Milford, similar starting field position for their second trip out on the offensive side. Johnson hands off to Kells, and Kells will dive forward out to the 25 for about a gain of 3. I think that was Baker again with another tackle.
So Milford will line up with 3 wide receivers here, the tight end and the shotgun.
Johnson hands off. No, pulls it out, and he's going to turn and run.
Play action, gets past Jonas Smith, and he gets the first.
Out across the 30, out to the 34. And I was just getting ready to say this Firebirds defense does not really look how they looked against the Alter Knights in the first week.
So far, very stingy, very aware of the lanes.
And right now, the Eagles are just driving right through them.
Very good run by Hunter Johnson. Long strides as he hands it off here.
And that one hit right at the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1. Smith with the tackle for the Firebirds, and it's going to be 2nd and 8. And we're already halfway through the first quarter in our City Barbecue Game of the Week for week number 3. I mean, it's not a really big outturn for the Eagles fan base.
Yeah, and I'll note, Jared, that those safeties are not very deep at all.
Kells is going to pull it, and another high pass.
And he actually had the position.
Intended to Dylan Hughes again. But that is like the 4th or 5th pass from Johnson that we have seen that has just sailed on him. So 3rd and long coming up, 3rd and 8 at the 36.
And so far for Hunter Johnson, not a lot of completions at all. I think just one.
1 or 2 and a lot of air mails.
A lot of intended passes. We'll line up with 4 wide receivers here.
Johnson going to throw a swing.
And a screen.
Or a screen out to the outside, and he has a first down, and he is hit hard.
And as you saw, they lined up number 85, senior defensive tackle Connor Foster, the big boy we were mentioning earlier, 6'8", 285, and he was on that side of the screen, and it was kind of a bubble screen, actually, the way he popped out and just waited for the block like that. But nonetheless, perfect execution by the Milford Eagles.
Johnson back to pass. Johnson looking to air it out, going along the far sideline, intended to Hughes. And Hall breaks it up, and it's intercepted by number 1, Marquise Williams. And he has blockers out in front of him. He's at midfield, and he is tackled right around the 49, and Firebirds force their first turnover of the game.
And let's start, Jared, with
tip pass. I think that was Ryan Hall that tipped it.
Yes, Marquise
Williams comes down.
Wow. Concentration was the word, no doubt. As it went into the air, he tracked it down as soon as it hit his sight. And kind of an underthrow by Hunter Johnson.
It looked like, because you saw Hughes had to wait and come back to it, and that allowed Hall to close in on it and at least get a hand up on it. Yeah, and now let's see how the Firebirds can take effect off of the turnover.
If he gave it about 10 more yards, I think that would have been a touchdown. There was no safeties over the top, and it was the one-on-one situation, and his throw allowed him to come back.
It looked like Braden
that was a keeper,
that one.
But
gain of 1.
Not go very far.
Well, it's like when me and you were watching the Alter game. He had like 10 straight runs of 1 yard. And then he had that big one on the last drive that ended up being the game-winning drive.
And Miller looks back for the option, fakes the pitch back.
And that should be enough for a first down, depending on where the refs spot it.
Very good decision making right there by number 12, quickly recognizing that the pitchback wouldn't have worked, and shooting that seam the defense allowed him.
It'll be it's 3rd and 2, so the refs spot him about 2 yards short.
And Milford definitely needs to watch out for number 15 here in blue.
Miller under center. Miller hands off to DeGlow, and DeGlow will have enough for a first down as he's across the 40.
There's that man, Jared, getting going earlier. Getting steam behind the train. A very stout Jesse DeGlow.
So the Firebirds a few yards, about 10 yards away from the red zone with 3:40 left in the first quarter. Play clock's down to 8. Miller fakes the handoff, and he's going to keep it.
I thought he might have pitched back there for a second, back to Chris Thompson, but wanted to see how far into the teeth of the defense he could get. It brings up 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6 from about the 34. Waiting for directions from the sideline. Miller looking back at his father. Play clock's down to 10. And I think the Firebirds got him to jump.
Yep, I think they got him offsides there.
See what the man in white says. Now we got the far side ref coming in to give his opinion. Fairmont letting it looks like it'll be offsides.
So that'll bring it to 2nd and 1 now.
Fairmont wisely accepts the penalty. 2nd and 1 from the 30 or the 29 now.
And Miller's very conservative and wise strategy is working so far, chipping away yard by yard, second by second. Play clock at 14 now.
Play clock down to 5. Miller
Straightforward.
straightforward for the first down run.
Nice design there, having 55 just lay out the path.
Well, I'd rather run behind
Literally.
73. So the Firebirds pick up a first down, and now an official's timeout as it looks like a Firebird is down. And that looked like 55, as you were saying.
Connor Bunce, senior center, has been a very important part of the new Dave Miller movement.
We had enough referee water breaks last week. I don't think we need them this week.
This is the first time I've ever seen that. Wow. I don't think I'll ever see it again.
Probably not. Tonight's MVCC High School football game of the week is being recorded by MVCC staff, volunteers, and students from Kettering Fairmont High School. Tonight's game is also sponsored by City Barbecue and Miami Valley Adapted Sports. Miami Valley Adapted Sports is a paraplegic sports club that provides competitive sporting opportunities with physicals with disabilities. Visit MiamiValleyAdaptedSports.org for more information. Out of the injured Firebirds timeout.
Ball on the 24 now with almost 2 minutes to go here in the first period.
Miller looks back at the coaching staff on the sideline with the play clock down to 15.
There are 9 men on the line.
So I'm assuming a run. Miller's going to hand off to DeGlow, and DeGlow will be out across the 20 down to about the 19, and the Firebirds are in the red zone for the first time tonight.
Very articulate decoy movement to the outside. Braden Miller on that run.
I mean, look right there. Number 73 for the Firebirds.
Isaac Bennett, senior.
Why are you not running behind him? I mean, he should just... I mean, he looks like he could block 2 people.
Kid could definitely pave the way, but do not sleep on Connor Bunce. And another straightforward run. And wow, that worked to perfection. Braden Miller so rapidly up the precise middle.
It'll be first and goal to go from the 8 for the Firebirds.
So some new designs here, something we didn't think we'd see from Fairmont, but getting a little creative here.
stepping away from the triple option is normal, and we're just sticking with the
Same formation, just finding out ways they can improve it. Find the vulnerability in this Eagles defense. They're going I.
DeGlow with the carry up the middle. DeGlow 10-5 touchdown, and Jesse DeGlow with another touchdown.
Numero
to his total.
5.
And Fairmont scores the first touchdown of the game with 1:06 left in the first quarter on an 8-yard run by number 15 right there in the middle of your screen, Jesse DeGlow.
There you go. Well done. Dave Miller will take that drive every single time over an 85-yard bomb. He loves it. You know he does, Jared.
Yeah, but the 85-yard bomb keeps the fans in it.
So methodic, though. So methodic.
Number 93, Asher Rome, on to attempt the extra point for the Firebirds. Kick is up and kick is good. And the
Top row of the
Firebirds
band.
lead 7-0 with 1:06 left.
And this first quarter tells me, Jared, what it tells me about the game is that if Hunter Johnson does not get it going, they have no chance in this one.
And it all started off of that Marquise Williams pick down here at about the 10-yard line. So that's capitalizing on teams' mistakes and putting points on the board. Two things that Miller loves doing.
Yeah, if Hunter Johnson doesn't know about Ryan Hall, if he didn't know about him before the game, he's going to know
knows about
him
him
at the
now.
end. Yes. Kid who is very athletic and capable. And now the Firebirds will kick it off once again.
Asher Rome on to kick off for the second time this quarter. Something he did excellent last week. They were 2 out of 3 on onside kicks. That's something Miller
How
has
about
had
that?
perfected nearly. And this high kick is fielded at about the 8-yard line by the Eagles. And he's running with a full head of steam. And just the kicker to beat.
Goodness.
And that is number, I did not see.
That was Asher Rome with the tackle,
That was the
saving
kicker with
day.
the oh my.
Absolutely saving
I
the
saw
day,
the-
number 93,
The
Asher
kicker
Rome.
looked like he held him up, but I thought somebody else came from behind. Maybe if we could see
No, he
a City
definitely
Barbecue replay.
completely halted his progress. And wow. Nonetheless, an excellent return by number 2, Dylan Hughes, the senior wide receiver who's already been targeted a couple times tonight.
If you're the Eagles, you have to execute on this drive. A great starting field position, close to midfield. You have to be able to capitalize. And Johnson hands off to Kells, and Kells cuts it back in.
Another gap.
A first down, about a gain of almost 15 on the play for
And
Kells.
look who is hanging on to his ankle. Number 1, the safety Marquise Williams, getting down and getting gritty with the running back, halting anything else from happening. So tremendous effort by the safety.
Kells gets the handoff again, and he maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Excellent tackle there by number 42, Trey Baker. A man who is often in the middle of things.
27 seconds left. They have not started the play clock. They do
Gotten
with about
some
20
success so
seconds
far.
left. Let's see if Milford even hikes it.
In running formation.
A flag on the play on the far sideline. Be interesting to see what is called here. Sideline warning against Milford.
So I guess he was mad after best offensive play of the game.
.14 seconds left in the first quarter, and Milford doesn't really look like they're going to hike it.
Does not look like it at all.
With 5 seconds left,
Yeah, definitely going to try to keep it down there.
they're just going to let the quarter end, and Fairmont will be Fairmont leads at the end of the first quarter, 7-0 over the visiting Milford Eagles. All right, each team had the ball twice in that quarter. Milford threw that interception. That really is the turning point of this game so far.
Yeah, well, I definitely think that they made tremendous strides with their momentum by that kick return and that run by Cameron Kells at the end of the quarter. Definitely ending it on a more positive note and something more to build on. You know, when they go in the huddle, they go to the side. It's not like, hey guys, I know we made mistakes. It's, hey guys, we're that close to cleaning up them.
And their head coach knows what he's doing. I mean, Grippa on that far sideline has had. I mean, he's been coaching longer than I've been alive. He's been coaching since '87. That's
definitely
8 years more than I've been alive.
Tremendous tenure, especially when it comes to one state, and especially when it comes down to
Cincinnati.
High school football.
It's been all Cincinnati teams that he has coached. I mean,
Very
Elder,
impressive.
LaSalle, and Fairfield.
All prestigious programs when it comes to football.
So now we're going to flip sides of the field, and Milford will be now going from left to right on your screen.
There you go. They got it tight end. Big boy number 85, Foster.
And Kells gets the carry again. Kells right up the middle. And I believe that was your guy, Trey Baker, on there with the tackle.
Garrett Baker, his cousin, actually.
There's more than one on the team.
Made initial contact. Yeah.
Oh, my.
Well, last year there were 3.
Really?
Yeah, Josh Baker is Garrett's brother.
Oh, my. That's a family affair for the Firebirds.
Pretty good genetics. Trey also has a little brother who.
Oh. Does he play football?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll see him in a few years, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll get back to Milford on offense now.
3rd and 4 from the 45. Johnson will keep it, and Johnson's hit right at the line of scrimmage by a slew of Firebirds. Looks like number 34 has the initial contact for the
Zach Snodgrass, junior defensive end.
4th down. Do you take the dice and roll it here?
They're sending somebody out. I do not know if it's the punter.
Number 11, Jacob Turner. It looked like.
And it is definitely not the punter.
They are going to go for it. 4th and 4 from the 35.
I would cover up the middle here. Looks like they're going short pass. Trips on the left side.
And Milford calls a timeout, and it looks like Milford confused themselves.
Does not look like he liked what he saw there.
I mean, this is a good 4-down territory. I would risk going for this. You don't want to give the Firebirds the ball back. I mean, if you try and punt it here, it could end up being only a 10-yard net punt if you put it in the end zone.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. I still think Milford's going to go for it, but I think they're going to have more time to talk about this play, and that's why they called the timeout. But right there, number 1 in the middle of your screen, the Marquise Williams, the one with the interception earlier in this game.
Definitely someone to keep your eye on. Kid has been a ball hawk since his first day on the team.
Well, between him and number 2, Ryan Hall, this defense, I mean, it's like we got our little own no-fly zone in Fairmont.
It's definitely.
Johnson back to pass, looking to the far sideline, and it's right complete to Dylan Houston in the middle of the field, and he'll go down at about the 20.
And I think a couple guys on that play didn't even have a route. I think it was just find the hole. It's a 4-yard play. Got one back there. Got 4 guys that can find the hole in that zone. I say you go do it. And they did it there. Hunter Johnson brings them up.
Johnson quickly back to the line.
They asked my evaluation.
Johnson pulls it out, throws the bullets across the middle of the field, and complete to number 85 of the Eagles. That is Connor Foster. Oh, you've talked about him already.
Oh, yeah.
The defensive end now playing tight end.
The multi-positional gargantuan of a high school player.
I don't think anybody plays as many positions as Ryan Hall does. Second and 3 from the 13. Johnson takes a handoff and hands off to Kells, and he's tackled immediately.
Nowhere to go. Jonas Smith getting right to the backfield.
So it'll be about 3rd and 3. 9:20 left in the first half.
And Dave Miller has to love what he saw from his defense so far.
Especially Jonas Smith. He
Heady
is
plays.
in the backfield almost every play, it seems like.
Well, very athletic outside linebacker and switches from DN to outside linebacker sometimes.
You just saw him switch there. Johnson hands off to Kells. Kells cuts it back out, and he should have a first down. I cannot see the marker on the far
It
side.
should be a first down, but great job by the Firebirds to halt that to only a first down, and a few yards past the marker. Marquise Williams came up and popped that run and stopped it from being as long as it could have been.
So it'll be 1st and goal from the 9 for Milford with just under 8 minutes left. You see here in the City Barbecue replay run.
Got an Eagle leaving the field as they will swap out offensive linemen. See if that will make a difference.
Fairmont section students are on their feet trying to pump up their defense. Johnson hands off to Kells.
He's immediately swallowed up. And number 61, Connor Russell. Huge clog.
So it'll be 2nd and goal from the 9. They did not gain a yard.
So trips on the left side again. 2nd and goal. He's looking left.
Johnson throws it to the inside, and it's almost intercepted and almost caught by Foster. What? That could so many emotions on one play.
And so impressive Marquise Williams has been this game. And how about the pursuit to the ball right there? He saw the little seam in the zone just after Hunter Johnson did and started running as soon as his eyes telegraphed his pass.
Maybe if we could see. Here we go. Look at this.
4 receivers now. 3rd and goal.
Johnson throws it to the inside, and it is intercepted by Ryan Hall. Ryan Hall has blockers out in front. He cuts it back across the midfield.
Oh, my goodness.
Ryan Hall's at the 50, being trailed from behind and is tackled at about the 40, and that might be 15 more for a face mask tackle. And Ryan Hall has just stopped the Milford's Eagles offense in their tracks.
And the leader of interceptions in GWalk gets another one. Put that on the huddle highlight, Dad. 60-yard return.
And then 15 more for a face mask tackle. The Firebirds are going to be at about the red zone here with 8:02 left in the first half.
Firebirds secondary proving essential today. So impressive, and
Safety play has helped out the Firebirds.
Ryan
2
Hall
turnovers.
will stay on the sideline. Give that man some oxygen. Wow, tremendous play. Puts Firebirds close to scoring position on the 22. And correct me, 78. 78 yards on the return. Wow.
Well, by the time you add the penalty.
Oh, yeah, penalty, my bad.
DeGlow gets the handoff right up the middle. And he will be out near the 15, about the 16.
And the Milford Eagles defensive line appears
I don't see
really
why they're
beefy, but
They're not
just-
athletic. They're
yeah,
not moving.
well, they are not containing these inside runs at all, as Jesse DeGlow often shoots straight to the second level with no hesitation. I think that's the problem here, is the interior
They're
lineman
not-
play for the Eagles.
I don't see why Milford's not stacking the box. You know Fairmont is going to run it
We'll definitely stop
11
in the
out of
box
10
here.
times.
Got 5 linemen and seems to be 3 linebackers, 8 in the box.
DeGlow gets the handoff right up the middle. He stays on his feet, has a
This
first
guy
down, and has
is
his second
still
touchdown of the game.
going. Oh my goodness, Jesse DeGlow. How incredible. Was someone pushing him? Was that 2-man strength or one? I cannot tell. How about the balance?
Phenomenal 18-yard touchdown run for DeGlow.
The
You see him
senior with his 6th touchdown on the year
Watch
through
him.
3
He
games.
bounces off the defender. I thought he was down right here, and somehow stays on his feet and walks in from about 5 yards out for his second touchdown of the game. Halfway of his total last year.
No, I don't.
Asher Rome on to attempt the extra point. Kick is up
Can't hear
and
myself.
good. So the Firebirds lead 14-0 with 7:16 left in the first half. All set up on the Ryan Hall interception and about a 60-yard return. And right now, the few Milford fans that are here are stunned.
Yeah,
They had a touchdown drive going and saw it snatched away by Hall.
Well, just all around, Dave Miller has to be patting helmets right now when his units hit the sideline. Wow. Just play after play being made. And how about Jesse DeGlow? I mean, such an incredible season last year. You wonder how he's going to kick it off. And 10 quarters so far, six touchdowns. 6 touchdowns. So an awesome start for the Firebirds tonight. Those 2 key turnovers end up into 2 touchdowns. I say the spotlight also goes on number 13. It's not often you throw 2 interceptions in the first half of a high school game.
Right.
You can only imagine how that affects the confidence of a young man. So
Asher Rome's kick squibs it right up the middle. Not touched yet and fielded at about the 20. And he's running to the sideline and gets out of bounds. That is Hughes. And so the Milford Eagles will start this drive at about the 13. So 7:09 left in the first half. And Milford has to find a way to sustain a drive and at least get some points. So out comes Hunter Johnson, number 13 for the Eagles, already has 2 interceptions. Johnson back to pass, throws a quick out route to Kells, and Kells tried to get out of bounds and stays inbounds due to the tackle. Only a gain of 1 on the play, and Milford is just letting this clock drain, not really playing with any enthusiasm on the field. Johnson back to pass, has a wide open, almost intercepted. That Hall could have had it if he had more attention on it.
very confused on where the pass was going there. The timing is very off. He looks shook a little bit.
And just like that, it is 3rd and long, 3rd and 9 from the 35.
They'll have to be very careful here. Hunter Johnson doesn't make a game-altering mistake that he cannot get back.
That would be detrimental if he has a turnover here.
Well, it's very possible with all the pressure.
3rd and 9, 6.5 minutes left. Johnson back to pass. Johnson airing it out on the sideline. Hauls it in at the midfield and stays on his feet. That is number 3, Jacob Weinham or Warnham.
I believe it's pronounced Wehrman.
I don't have my glasses on. And I think that's Johnson's best pass he's had all game so far.
And 3 receivers will drop back again and
Johnson
pressure up the middle.
Airs it out, and Hall almost comes up with that interception.
And it was almost deflected by number 9, Garrett Baker.
He was over the quarterback when he threw it.
Yeah.
2nd
there.
and 10. I mean, if you're Milford, you also want to try and sustain a drive that will take some time off the clock.
A little something. You got to fight fire with fire. If you give the ball back to the Firebirds, you know you're probably not getting it back.
Not for this quarter. Whew, not for this half.
They'll go trips on the right side here.
Play clock has not even started. I do not know what took so long. Play clock's now going. Johnson hands off to Kells. Kells has an open lane and has about a gain of 6 on the play.
So good chunk play. Brings it to about 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4.
This is manageable 3rd down distance for the Eagles. It'll be interesting to see what pass call that Grippa calls for Johnson. Johnson actually will no, fake the handoff to Kells. Throws it to the outside, and it is caught by number 2, Hughes, again, and tackled by number 2, Ryan Hall. And that will be enough for a first down for Milford. And at a first down at about the 26-yard line, 27-yard line. Actually 32, sorry. Right now, Milford is sustaining a little time-consuming drive, and Kells maybe will get about 5 on the play.
Trey Baker at his feet, leveling him out.
Actually, that was a tackle or run by number 54, by John William. Oh no, he was just on the bottom of the pile. That was a Kells run. Under 5 minutes left, 2nd and 7 for the Eagles at about the 30-yard line.
Kind of vulnerable on the edges here.
Johnson step back to throw, pump fakes, and he might keep it.
I'm going to try to keep it.
And he will have a first down. I was waiting, when he pulled that back, I was waiting for him to drop it. The first down run for by Johnson has another first down for the Eagles at about the 24 or 22-yard line. With about 4.5 minutes left. Johnson back to pass again. Johnson throws it to the outside.
That is
intended
wow.
to Hughes.
I definitely thought that was going to be a flag there.
Refs deciding to keep the flags in their pocket.
I just thought Hall had pushed him a little bit on the play, but I guess not.
First, 2nd and 10 from the 22 now. Johnson back to pass. Johnson, well, they throw the screen out to the outside. Number 3 cuts it back in. That's Werman.
Oh, my goodness. It gets mowed over by Marquise Williams.
Williams is making his name known on defense tonight. Be close to a first down. It'll be about 3rd and 2. 3rd and 1. At about the 13 of the Firebirds. This is about where Johnson threw that last interception to Hall. And you feel the crowd get ready, and Johnson hands off to Kells. Kells cuts it back to the outside, has the first down, and it'll be goal-to-go situation from about the 7.
And good little drive here to end the half on. So they have mowed off a little bit of a chunk here. Looking towards 3 minutes on this drive, but
first and goal from the 8.
And they'll go 4 receivers here, possibly anticipating a run. Nope, they'll drop back. A screen to the left.
Again. I did not see who caught it, but they're down to about the 3. Jacob Weirman with a catch. Tackle by number 13, Andrew Murray of the Firebirds. Second goal from the 2. With about 3 minutes left in the game, or in the half. Johnson hands off to Kells. Kells cuts it back in.
I believe
Kells
that's a
has
touchdown,
And Milford finally breaks the plane and scores its first touchdown against Fairmont. With 2:50 left in the first half.
And looks like they're going for 2 here. Risky
I don't
move.
know if I would do that.
Yeah, risky move.
Number 17, Grace Erdl, on to kick the extra point. Well, I don't know.
Oh,
what they're doing.
wow.
Oh, they're doing that Oregon stuff that Oregon used to do.
Stuff that usually actually doesn't matter.
Yeah. Like lining up in the super eye before the play's hiked. And if kick is up and kick is good, and the Eagles cut the Firebirds lead in half. Now 14-7 lead the Firebirds with 2:50 left.
Let's see where they can get the ball off of the kick return.
Yeah, we haven't seen them field a kick return yet today.
Well, sometimes Miller has different approaches to different 2-minute drills, so definitely intrigued to see what's going to unfold on this one.
Well, this could end up being at most a 14-point swing for the Firebirds. If they could somehow get a touchdown here, they get the ball to start the second half. So 2 successful drives, and they could find themselves up big by the time the third quarter ends. Looks like you'll have, is that DeGlow and Williams back to return to kick?
I believe that is, Jared. That is Jesse DeGlow, Marquise Williams.
I would not want to be hit by him having that much wide open room to run.
Oh,
That'll hurt.
yeah.
Looks like Grace Erdl will be on to kick the ball off for the Eagles. Let's see if they try an onside kick. Maybe the Firebirds aren't expecting it. Erdl's kick right down the middle of the field.
A little bit of a squib.
And DeGlow, it won't go out of bounds, so DeGlow fielded at about the 10. And he's running more east and west than he is north and south, and he's fielded at, stopped at about the 10. And a
Almost got
flag
to the 10.
comes in from the far sideline. Maybe a face mask grab by the defense, or by the kicking team. Turner with the tackle for the Eagles. And let's see what the flag is. Blocking the back against Fairmont. So we half a distance to the goal with 2:41 left. They'll start this at about the 4. So Fairmont will have an insurmountable drive coming here. 90-some yard drive they'll have to do. They'll start at the 5, actually. It's not good when you're standing in your own end zone on offense.
Never good, especially when you run the triple option. And they're going to get it outside. Oh. I thought Miller was still had that one.
I think the Glow kept it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, straight up the middle. Surprise, surprise, they were anticipating it. So they will have one receiver out on this play.
Is it Brennan? Number 4 for the Firebirds.
Cannot quite see.
And I think Fairmont's just intent with driving or letting the play clock go down to 1 every time.
Are always content.
Miller will keep the handoff, and Miller cuts it back across midfield, across the 10 out to the 15, and that might be enough for a first down. The clock is still going.
They might have done just enough to keep the ball for the rest of the quarter here.
3rd and about 1 from the 14. So it'll be interesting. Play clock's already down to 15 with a minute and a half left. I think Fairmont just wants to get the first down and then probably just sit on it for the rest of the half.
Might try one pass.
We'll see. Miller's going to run it right up the middle, and he should have the first down.
And that does look spotted far enough to go for a first down, and it will move the chains.
Out to the 17 with 1:15 left. We'll know what Fairmont's going to do on this one play call, if they're going to try and do something or just hold it.
Line up with one receiver to the left, but I do not think they're going to try to do too much this quarter.
Miller hands it to DeGlow. DeGlow cuts it back in. I mean, he's refusing to go down.
Like usual.
And I would say one more snap and the Firebirds will be able to get out of this first half with a lead. And it's about a 3-second differential, so that's all it'll take is just a snap and a kneel. Timeout Milford for some reason. Well, 15.8 left. 2nd and 6 from the 22. Fairmont just has to hike it or snap it one time, and that should be it. But I mean, how's Fairmont played in your eyes this first half?
Pretty excellent. They have excelled in almost every category they could. I mean,
the only thing they're losing is passing yards.
Yeah, the only issue for Fairmont, I would say, is their defensive spacing got taken advantage of at different times throughout the half, and almost even cost them a big touchdown early in the game if Hunter Johnson wouldn't have overthrew it. So I definitely think the one thing to crack down on is that defensive spacing, tightening up the zone a little bit, seeing the holes a little better. But other than that, you can't ask for much more from Dave Miller. His game plan worked to near perfection. So really good execution here by Fairmont. And Milford definitely need to get that air game going.
They're just a few plays from being right back in this game too. I mean, they had an interception at the goal line and an interception at about the red zone.
Huge underthrow.
Miller will just run right in the middle of the field, and that will do it for our MVCC City Barbecue game of the week for the first half. Fairmont will go into the locker room leading 14-7.
tune was a huge hit for Prince and the Revolution in 1984. The song appeared on the iconic album Purple Rain and is one of Prince's most popular songs. This song was Prince's second #1 hit on the Billboard Hot 100, and he recharted again following his death in 2016. To date, it has sold nearly 1 million copies. Here we go with our edition of Let's Go Crazy! Passed away in Mississippi years ago, but her song will live on in the hearts of Portland fans everywhere for years to come. We close tonight's show with Hang On Snoopy. School 8th grade bands for their participation in tonight's
All right, welcome back to the second half of our MVCC City Barbecue Game of the Week. Fairmont leads 14-7 over the visiting Milford Eagles. Fairmont ready to get the ball. Jeff, what do you think, what does Milford have to talk about at that half?
Definitely getting those throws in there. You know, take advantage of they want to pass. And so when you have a passing offense in high school, there's a very little room for error. And that's something that they have been very bad at managing, is how much error they're allowing room for. So definitely, if they cut down on the turnovers and take advantage of every single possession they can, I think they can
could
easily
find this
come
way
back.
Yeah.
And the Firebirds have almost completely executed on every opportunity tonight so far. So
Kickoff is down at about the 4.
and a pitch back, and Marquise will
Marquise
take it the other
Williams,
way.
Marquise Williams tackled at the midfield. Then it looked like he was tackled by I might say a number 11, Jacob Turner. Maybe if we can see a replay. So 1st and 10. I mean, the Firebirds have not really had to go a length of a field drive. 2 turnovers, and they returned it well over the 50. And then this kick return goes over the 52.
Beautifully executed. The pitchback was very deceptive. Half the team going one way, the other team going another.
That's the first time I've seen Miller come back to that this year. Last year they had a few turnovers on the kickoff because of it. And DeGlow gets the first half carry. DeGlow still on his feet and will be close to a first down.
And pure power from number 15.
That is all coming from his legs. Keeping him churning, and he had a gain of 9 on that 2nd and 1 from the 39.
Jared, if that is all coming from his legs, I do not want to see what this guy can do with his arms.
Well, he was 1 for 1 last week for a 25-yard pass. If you didn't look at that in the stat sheet.
One receiver out wide.
It looks like Hall. Decoy.
Miller
going to keep it right up the middle, and he'll have about a gain of 6.
And that is something they are really jumping on this game. Is to keep right up the middle. No delay at all. Miller just gets it and runs it as fast as he can between that gap.
I mean, he might be pushing the center up the field as he has the ball.
Well, it's good strategy. He gets in the middle of it. He can kind of leverage those 2 linemen to the side.
First down here at the 34.
They'll have a fullback out now and 1 tight end. Snap. Miller keeps it.
Miller still keeps it. I thought he was going to try and pitch it back.
Definitely looked like a miscommunication there, Jared.
I think the trailing running back.
As number 11, Chris Thompson, was behind him, got too close, and Miller began to look back to pitch it. He was right next to him, and so as he looked,
right there,
he was right next to him, and he's like,
I think Thompson was supposed to be out more for the pitch.
Miller decided to keep going at that moment.
I don't think he had a choice. So a gain of 7 on that run by Miller.
Same formation, but number 8 back there.
Miller hands off to DeGlow. DeGlow bounces to the outside and maybe gets a gain of 1 on the play.
Excuse me, number 1, Williams was in the backfield. So much of the same here for the Firebirds.
You see the drum line down here in the students, trying to pump up the student section. 3rd and 1 coming up here for the Firebirds at the 25-yard line. Miller keeps it right up the middle, and that one will be close.
Nothing. As number 72 for the Eagles, Hayden Oberschlake, read that one all the way as soon as he started, as you see in the City Barbecue replay, just reached and grabbed him around the shoulder.
Number 73 with that Joey Cutting pulls him back, and the Firebirds are going to go for it on 4th and 1. Miller looks back at the coaching staff to see what they should call.
4th and 1, no receivers. I think they're going to try to get him to jump here.
Either that or Miller's
Nope.
hands off to DeGlow, and DeGlow has the first down for the Firebirds.
Wow, so close as the guard fell down on that player. Something.
The guard slipped.
Number 72, Hayden Overschlag, the guy who got the stop on the last play, was completely unguarded. You see to the right of the center.
He hit Miller as he was handing it off.
Yes. So almost a
Refs.
huge turnover there.
Refs just signal a first down, and the Firebirds 24 yards between them and the end zone, trying to extend this lead.
Usual set for the Firebirds now.
Well,
8 on the offensive line.
usual for tonight. This is normally not what they line up in.
Usually they like to keep a receiver out wide, but all goal line
Miller
tonight.
keeps it, fakes the handoff. And if you could see David Miller down here on the sideline, he is livid.
Well, this is not something you see a lot, Jared. Braden Miller looking like he doesn't know what's going on. Usually the quarterback appears as if he was born into the triple option, as the play just seems second nature for him. But it's the second time this drive where he just
I think
didn't know
Miller
where
is
he's
mad
supposed to
that
be.
the running backs are not where they need to be on
Yeah,
the field. Because, I mean,
definitely
you cannot blame this on Braden.
Well, it looks like not everybody always knows what the play is, and that's a huge problem.
I think they're going to end up working on this in practice a lot this week then. Flag on the close side of the field, and that looks like it's going to be blown dead.
Oh, and it's
Actually,
again
it's
Milford.
offsides against Milford.
Wow.
That's twice tonight Braden has gotten them to jump.
And it's very sudden, too. As usually the Firebirds will call their play around, trying to get them jump. But I like the strategy. Try to get them jump, and if you can't, call that play right afterwards.
Right. 5-yard penalty makes it 2nd down and 6 from the 20.
It's creating a new pattern of timing, Jared, which is really throwing off that defense.
Have not really seen Ryan Hall on the offensive side of this ball on the offensive side of the ball tonight.
Well, he's been such a stud these past few weeks in the secondary. I would keep
Miller
him there,
hands
too.
off to DeGlow. DeGlow cuts it in and down to about the 12, and that'll be enough for another Firebirds first down.
Sometimes he just looks like a steam engine out there, Jared.
Yeah,
He builds momentum, and sometimes he just cannot
Those
be
high
stopped.
knees getting him through the defender's arms. I mean, DeGlow was a 1,000-yard rusher last year.
Well
and
over
right now
1,000
he's
yards.
on his way probably to beat his record from last year, or beat his mark from last year.
Wow, 16 touchdowns I think was last year's number. He already has 6 so
It's
far,
6 so
and
far
it's
in 3 games.
3 is pending right here. Miller keeping it. DeGlow on the lead block, and Miller keeps on.
Miller down close to the 10, about the 8. And DeGlow, this is really the game he got going in last year. 4 touchdowns against the Eagles down in Milford and 161 rushing yards. And I didn't look at his stats from halftime, but he has to be close to that rushing yard mark. And right now, knocking on the door of maybe a 3rd touchdown in this game.
Yeah. And really the thing about number 15 is he just does not stop. When they are tired, he is not.
DeGlow gets the handoff, cuts it back into the 10, down to about the 5, maybe the 4. So it'll be goal-to-go situation.
And just absolutely exhausting the Milford D. Number 15 gets those huge legs.
And
chugging.
right there, this drive has just eclipsed the 6-minute mark. 6 minutes and 7 seconds this drive has durated of this first half. 3rd and 1 on the 4.
And Milford has to get off. There's no way those guys aren't exhausted right now.
I think this is one that DeGlow's going to knock it in. Miller hands off to DeGlow.
And no touchdown.
No touchdown, but has the first down to the 2.
About the last thing they wanted. I think they might have been hoping
I'd
for a
rather
touchdown on
give
that
up
play.
the touchdown to get off the field.
Just blow after blow.
And right now, this is going to sustain a 7-minute drive for the Firebirds if they drive this clock down. Miller looks back to the coaching staff. It's like, you sure you want me to call the DeGlow run? Miller hands off to DeGlow. DeGlow dives into the end zone. And the refs say he does not get in.
So close. But how about the effort from the Milford Eagles defense?
Why try to play defense now? It's at the half-yard line.
Well, you saw Braden Miller call a hike, and that middle linebacker flew down the pipe.
Oh, they
straight down the middle.
finally figured out that DeGlow's going to get the ball.
So they'll have 3 more opportunities to punch it in here.
Ugh. This is approaching an 8-minute drive.
And number 37 for Milford right there, Hayden Johnson, middle linebacker, lined up almost right on the center, you see right there on the screen. Looking Braden Miller in his eyes.
Take care of him. Miller's actually going to call his own number and has a touchdown.
QB
no
sneak
signal
with Miller
yet.
And I think he fell over the pylon, definitely, but we'll see the call here.
No signal from the referees yet. I mean, you could see it in our replay. We can look at a replay. He's clearly in.
A very long signal. Let's see.
No call yet from the officials, and you can see right there he's through.
Yeah,
and finally, a call from the officials with 3:55 left in the third quarter. Braden Miller on a half-yard touchdown run.
So, again, they're finally trying to sniff out the middle run as a senior linebacker, Hayden Johnson, in the middle there trying to create some disruption for the second time in a row. Just does not work. The leverage of the offensive line, working Fairmont into the end zone. And how about that drive, Jared? As it's almost the end of the third. We're looking
just under
3
4
minutes.
left.
3.5 minutes to the fourth quarter begins. And
all I can say is Milford's offense better sustain a drive to get some rest for their defense.
Oh, yeah. If it's a 3 and out, these guys are going to come back with their hands on their knees.
Asher high snap, kicks up, and kick is good. Fairmont leads 21-7 in our City Barbecue game of the week with 3:55 left in the third quarter.
And despite the mistakes, Jared, that's exactly what Coach Miller wants to see. That's exactly what this offense is supposed to execute.
The mistakes are minimal. It's just the running backs are not there where they need to be on the pitch.
Certain placement, right?
And you could see where in Miller's eyes, you could see his eyes get as big as dinner plates. It's like, oh, where's he at? You can see right there. I'm assuming that's.
But nonetheless, good improvisation by number 12, Braden Miller, keeping that drive going no matter where his guys were.
There was 2 plays on that drive, especially where he kept the drive going. Asher Rome on to kick the ball off here, his 4th kickoff of the game. You hear the crowd rumbling underneath, and Asher Rome squibs it right across the middle. Fairmont, it's still a live ball. And somehow Milford picks it up and gets out to about the 40. Looks like number 13 with the tackle. This is a different kickoff we've seen from Asher Rome over the past 2 years. And somehow number 57 of the Eagles, Tony Fasciano, it looks like, picks it up and returns it out to the 40. So Milford has decent starting field position and now has to, I would say, needs more than a 3 and out for their defense. Johnson hands off to Kells. Kells cuts it across the 45 and out to about the 47. He'll be close to a first down.
So nice play to kick off this drive.
He just ran through. That looked like number 11 for the Firebirds, Chris Thompson.
Initially taking off a huge chunk. 2nd and 2.
Johnson calling for the snap.
Looks like a run. and
Hands
it's
off
gonna
to
be
Kells. Kells will have a first down across midfield and actually gets about to the 45 of the Firebirds. So 2 decent runs for Kells to start this drive for the Eagles.
And Johnson leads them out in a trips formation to the left here. Halfback will be to his right.
Kells gets the handoff, and Kells is hit immediately at the line of scrimmage.
Number
That is
61, Connor Russell, the junior defensive lineman. And just a huge roadblock in the middle of that defense right there, as you see on the City Barbecue replay. The center
And
just
he
tries
still,
to get a
the
body
center
on
still
him.
had a hold of him.
Yeah,
That's a roadblock. He just ran into the side of a mountain. And all momentum stopped. Loss of 1 on the play.
great penetration there by the Firebirds line. This one will be a pass.
Kells back to pass. Kells dumps it off to, or Johnson dumps it off to Kells, and he'll be close to a first down, about 3rd and about 2 coming up here.
Good gang tackle there by Andrew Murray and Khalil Jones-Whitaker. Two minutes left
In the 3rd quarter.
already. Wow, what?
That's what happens when Fairmont holds the ball for 8 minutes.
And it seems like they were running 3 plays on every single down.
Kells gets the handoff. Kells cuts it back, has the first down, and still going out close to the 30. So Kells has really come alive on this drive. All 4 plays going to him offensively. And you have number 2 down on the field, Dylan Hughes, for the Eagles. I'm assuming probably cramps.
That'll be number 52 for the Milford Eagles, Brian. 22.
Still has not gotten up yet. That is number 52, Brian Stevens, 6'3", 240 pounds, senior. You see the head coach there standing over his shoulder. I mean, pausing the break, we can take a look at the rest of Fairmont's schedule. So far, they're 1-1 on the year. We went over that. Exhilarating first win against Alter to start the year, and then a heartbreaking loss last week to Northmont. Playing Milford tonight, at Springboro next week. Then they play Beaver Creek here for home. I believe that's homecoming for week 5. Then they're at Miamisburg. That'll be our game of the week for week number 6. Week number 7, they're home for West Carrollton. Week number 8, they're at Wayne. Week number 9, senior night and Spirit Chain night here for Centerville. That'll be our game of the week, too.
That's going to be a fantastic one.
Yeah. And then they close out the year at Springfield.
There's Johnson.
Johnson
Takes the
back to
snap.
pass.
And they get him on a curl route on the outside.
And it'll be close to a first down, and it'll be enough for a first down for the Eagles.
Number 23 on the catch, Jared Engelman, the 6'4" senior wide receiver.
And right now, Milford is the best. This is their best drive of the night so far.
Easily getting it rolling, executing on almost everything. And my guess is they're going to try to hand it off to Kells right here again, Jared, and they will.
Kells gets
To
the
the
handoff,
left.
cuts it to the left, and
What
he
about
just
Trey
slipped.
Baker? Trey Baker getting him from the back. He grabbed his foot from out under him.
So
Tried to
under
get
a
the
minute left.
A good pursuit to the ball right there. They'll bring up 2nd and 6.
I am surprised Milford is not up on the line quicker than this.
And handoff.
Kells
play
pulls,
action.
or Johnson pulls it back. And Johnson tackled by a slew of Firebirds. Looks like number 22 and Trey Baker with the tackle out of bounds for the Firebirds.
And not good at all, Jared, as number 42 seems to be holding his right hand for the Firebirds.
Well, he stays in the game.
Trey Baker, if his hand is hurt, he is not telling anybody. He is staying on there.
3rd and 4 from the 16. Johnson calling for it. Johnson back to pass. Throws it that was right through the hands of the receiver. A little bit high, but I mean the receiver should have came up with that. And this is by far 4 down territory for the Eagles. You see here in the City Barbecue replay, Johnson had the pass up to the wide open receiver, just put it a little bit too high. Went right through the hands of the receiver. 4th and 4 from the 16. This could be Milford's ball game right here. Johnson back to pass.
A screen again.
Screen pass out to the first down. And he stays on his feet, gets down inside the 5, down to about the 3. That is number 23 for the Eagles. That is
Engelman again.
Engelman.
So big guy. Surprised they haven't utilized him more already tonight, but better now than never, Jared. 21-7, and they could.
They have got, well, they will get the one last play into this 3rd quarter. I think you have to score on this play, and you cannot go down multiple scores into the last quarter against the Firebirds. 10 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Johnson gets the handoff, hands off to Kells. Kells cuts it back in, and he will get into the end zone.
And have to tackle better if you're the Firebirds.
With 2.2 seconds left, Kells dives into the end zone for a touchdown to cut it to an 8-point lead pending the extra point.
Number 28, great drive for him. Breaking 2 tackles in the backfield there and fighting through another one to score. You saw there on the City Barbecue replay.
Now we here come out with the Oregon extra point. That's what I'm going to call it. Snap's good. Kick is up, and kick is good.
So the Milford Eagles getting something meaningful here out of their offense. One of the first times all night.
Yeah, first time tonight we've really seen a successful drive come from the Eagles.
And probably best time screen of the night, as we've seen them going back to that over and over again. But for a huge 4th down conversion, they resort back to it again.
It'll be interesting to see, what do you do if you're the Eagles? Do you onside this maybe?
Well, I have no clue.
I mean, you can't give the ball back to the Firebirds and have them control it for 8 minutes and score.
I think you're going to have to try to get some kind of defensive resistance, because I have no clue. And with the Firebirds controlling the clock as well as they have and really doing almost whatever they want besides passing it.
0 for 0.
I mean, if they want to pass it, they haven't shown us.
Right. And I don't think they're going to do it without Hall on the field.
But it definitely will be intriguing, Jared, to see what Tom Gripall does in the closing minutes of this game, as this could be the last time they have possession of the ball.
It very well could be. Squib kick up the middle. DeGlow fields it at about the 15.
I believe that's Ryan Hall. That is Ryan Hall.
Ryan Hall upended over the 40. First time we've called his name in the second half, and really for a long time.
And this might be the first time all game Milford is actually excited about their good field position. Make the drive go faster, even if they are going to score.
And that is how the 3rd quarter will end. We'll flip field position, and Fairmont will have the ball going into the 4th and final quarter, leading 21-14 in our City Barbecue game of the week.
Yeah, Jared, we'll get this 4th quarter going, but, man, Hayden Johnson and Connor Foster have to lift up that Milford Eagles defense and see if they can just present anything that's going to halt some offensive progress. Anything they can think of.
You have got to bring everything at it, and you know Fairmont's going to run the ball, so I don't see why they're not stacking the box.
If there's ever a time for desperacy, if you got anything in the bag you've been waiting to whip out, it's right here, Jared. This drive, beginning of the 4th quarter.
All right, here we go, starting the fourth quarter.
So similar field possession as last time, but we know that doesn't mean anything for the clock.
No, they'll still try and take an 8-minute drive.
Thompson in motion.
Miller keeps the handoff, fakes the pitch. Miller across midfield and tackled by number 7 of the Eagles, Dustin Loudermilk. Okay, I was not reading that wrong.
Loudermilk.
Loudermilk.
But Braden Miller, so smooth in the way he ran that triple option there, as you see. He sees the seam, he keeps the glow in his peripheral, and dashes down it. Very good decision making from the senior quarterback as he'll go back under center.
Miller will keep it again, and that should be a first down for the Firebirds.
Tackle by number 37, Eagles Hayden Johnson, making another play tonight.
3rd and 1.
Wow, it really appeared like they got that first down.
It looked like it. It's about a ball length short, it looks like.
3rd
from
and
the
1,
lineup.
and I expect a big pinch here.
Oh, Miller's going to
Eagles.
run it right up the middle, I guarantee.
Expecting a huge pinch here from the Milford Eagles, but we'll
Fairmont
see.
switching the line setup.
Really shifting it here. Wow.
Fake the run to the right and run it to the left.
It seems to be an unusual amount of
And timeout,
confusion
Fairmont.
between Braden Miller and his father, so they're going to call a timeout here. And usually number 12 looks very comfortable settling down in that pocket and taking orders, but that time, not at all.
This looks like a heated conversation between father and son right here on the sideline.
Yeah, Miller looks very puzzled. Definitely some
Which
confusion
one?
there.
I mean, the way Miller was walking off the sideline, you could tell he's livid. And look at him, the way he's talking to this team.
All about game control here. And these are the
He
type of
knows.
opportunities that Miller has this game plan for.
He knows he's a few possessions plays away from ending this game.
And if you put it at 2 possession deficit, I think that's the end of the game, Jared.
Definitely a better outcome for the Milford Eagles than what they had last year against the Firebirds.
An unusual sight tonight. We'll see number 2 line up in wide receiver, which a lot of the times means nothing for the Firebirds offense, but it's worth noting.
Right, he could get it on an end around. Doubt it, but he could.
Miller setting up 5 on the play clock.
Miller hands off to DeGlow. DeGlow blows through and knocked forward another few more yards.
Slightly to the right, but overall good tackle by Hayden Overschlake, number 72. And as you see on the City Barbecue replay, went slightly to the right. Milford came with the pinch. They just weren't anticipating that Miller
I think they were anticipating a Miller keep instead of a DeGlow run.
something up the middle, but they went slightly to the right, and they were not ready at all.
And now it's time to play. Kill the clock.
Indeed.
Play clock's down to 5. Miller hikes it, fakes the handoff,
Option.
pitches out to DeGlow.
he
DeGlow has
has
a
a
first
seam.
down run. DeGlow's still on his feet. Down to about the 12-yard line is Jesse DeGlow.
And another exhilarating, punishing run by the senior number 15. The guy is just a truck, as you see on the City Barbecue replay. Gets it on the option, sees the seam, and he just bolts through, dragging those tree trunks with him.
Down to the 13, 1st and 10, with 9.5 minutes left. I didn't think Miller was expecting to score this quickly. Miller hands off to, is that Jackson? Number 18 for the Firebirds. Turner and Stewart with a tackle for the Eagles. Gain of 4 on the play by Jackson.
And more exhaustion for Milford's defense. Wow, are the Firebirds working these guys out?
Yeah, they are just waiting. I mean, the play's already called. I don't see why the linemen are set so early. Play clock's down to 8. Miller keeps it right up the middle. And you see DeGlow there trying to get behind him and push him. Gain of about 3 on the play. Gain of 2, actually. 3rd and 4 from the 7. And it'll be interesting. I mean, if you're Milford, do you let the Firebirds score? I mean, to save as much time as you can.
Who knows? Save some energy, too. As some of these guys that are playing defense, you got to keep in mind, Jared, are also going to be taking the field next possession for offense. And so it's something you definitely have to keep in mind here as the Firebirds march deeper and deeper.
And a flag and a delay of game, I believe, will be called against the Firebirds. Delay of game.
It's just a second too late.
Nope. They gave him the timeout. I didn't think they got the timeout called.
Wow. Okay.
But Fairmont calls the timeout, saves the field position. 3rd and 4 from the 7 be coming out of their timeout. What do you think about our game of the week for next week? Valley View Spartans versus Oakwood Lumberjacks.
Well, I definitely think it's always going to be a battle.
Oh, yeah. It's always been interesting. I mean, 2
Always.
years ago.
Very intriguing game. One of the best football games I've ever called in my life 2 years ago, actually.
Yeah, Oakwood was down, 17 at one point in that game, if not more.
Pretty sure 17 in the 4th quarter.
And came back and went for 2.
Oh, onside kick and everything. Everything
worked out until that 2-point conversion.
Exhilarating. What a game. But right now we are still here in Roush, and we still have a very competitive game on our hands.
8:04 left, 3rd and 4 from the 7 for the Firebirds.
And Milford still, to this point, has shown no resistance.
I don't understand why they're taking so long. The play clock's not going to matter because it's not running the clock.
They're so used to running the clock, they're still waiting to see one. Thompson on
Miller
the left
under
side end.
center. Miller fakes the handoff and fakes the pitch, and Miller will have
And
his
that's a
second
touchdown.
touchdown of the game.
That might be the game, Jared, as I don't know if Milford's going to have 2 more possessions this game. Braden Miller. And how about the composure and toughness of the senior quarterback?
Watch here at the end. He got the lineman to go to the glow pitch. And as soon as he got the lineman looking that way, Miller cut it back upfield for a 7-yard touchdown run.
Practice, practice, practice.
His second of the game.
And the coach's son's instincts are very sharp. And they go up by 2 scores. But Milford is by no means out of it. Seen a lot more difficult comebacks. Granted, Firebirds have controlled almost every asset of this game, but still. Milford
Kick is up, and kick is into the 4th row of the band, and it is good.
Milford's high-flying offense still has a lot of hope here. They got those big receivers outside, big tight end inside, Cameron Kells.
I think you're going to have to almost abandon the run, though, if you're the Eagles.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're going to have to get him on some flat routes. The kid has some explosiveness. I say give him some space and see what he can do as a playmaker.
It'll be interesting to see. 8 minutes left exactly on the clock. Milford getting the ball down 2 scores.
And Hunter Johnson has to be a little disappointed as he looked really, really well on the one drive that he played.
Yeah.
The one drive that he played in the second half, but will maybe only get another one.
But you're right, this could be the last possession for the Eagles. I think this is the first time we've seen Kells back there to return a kickoff. Asher Rome on to kick off. Rome goes for the onside kick. I don't understand that one.
He almost gets it. Well, I kind of do, because they didn't have that much to lose there.
Yeah, but I mean, now teams have a lineup for you on an onside kick formation.
But think about it. They weren't expecting it, and if they would have gotten it, it would have ended the game, definitely. And now they give the ball back, good field position, they can get the ball back faster and waste more clock.
I don't agree with it. I mean, you have now teams can log into huddle, and now they will see that is one lineup that you have for an onside kick.
I think it was worth it. Hunter Johnson taking the snap here. Handoff
Kells
to Kells to the
gets
right.
the handoff, and Kells will be gain of about 7 on the play, but I do not see why you are running the ball if you're the Eagles.
Good group tackle there by Ollie Saley and Garrett Baker. You see on the City Barbecue replay. As he'll seal off that edge right there. Getting the clock running, confusing tactic, but see what they have in store here. As
Johnson
drops
back to pass, has the first down, and out of bounds is Dylan Hughes, I believe. Yep.
And great intention there, going for the sideline. The curl route is going to be your best friend in these situations.
And right now, that's all they can afford to really run. You don't want to get tackled in the middle of the field if you're the Eagles.
Definitely worth noting that Ryan Hall is at the top of your screen. Already has a pick tonight.
Kells gets the handoff, and he'll be close to the 30, out at about the 31. Number 61 with the tackle for the Firebirds, that is Russell.
Already had a really good game as a standout interior lineman for the Firebirds so far.
And already Milford has had the ball for over a minute and have only went about 15 yards. Play clock down to 10 for Milford. Johnson back to pass, out route, and he just dropped that one.
And that was a huge drop as they found the gap between outside linebacker Aaron Jackson and Ryan Hall. As you see out there, they had that little zone going, but straight through his hands, straight off of his hands. Either one, bad drop there. That was number 2, Dylan Hughes for the Eagles.
Johnson back to pass. Quick out route screen to the outside. Has the first down inside the 20. That to Hughes again. I think Hughes is the only weapon they have receiving wise.
Well, see, Engelman has been looking very good when they go to him. 6'4", 185 senior. Just aren't looking his way a whole lot.
First and 10 at the 19. Johnson back to pass again, and that one's hit immediately for nothing. You see Trey Baker comes through and blows it all up at the end.
Very similar, if not the same exact play. And number 42 seems to be holding a couple parts of his body. He looks very
coming
wore
out. That's that linebacker mentality. It don't matter what hurts and how much it hurts.
His tank body looks very shaken up.
But the Firebirds defense is well rested. The offense is sustaining big drives, and Baker almost blows through the line, and Kells almost breaks that shoelace tackle. It'll be enough for a first down for the Eagles in a goal-to-go situation.
Fairmont trying containment here, but
I mean, you look, Baker almost gets to the line of scrimmage, or through to the line of scrimmage.
An incredible player. Some heavy penetration there.
3rd and 2 from the 11. Kells gets the carry right up the middle. Kells down to the 5. And right now you have to take a shot at the end zone. You cannot really afford to run it with 5:25 left. Clock will start once the ball is set. And Milford's going to have to come out with an onside kick if they score here. Kells gets the handoff. Kells at the 1. Trey Baker with another tackle. And for some reason, he's hitting himself in the head. Second and goal from the 1. Under 5 minutes left in the game. Milford trying to mount a comeback.
And that is a jump.
Offsides for the Firebirds.
And they'll get a half yard closer.
Automatic first down. Second and 1. Well, second and about half a 1.
Definitely line up in goal line here. Tight end to the right.
Kells gets the carry. Kells
definitely
gets in.
A hold right there by
His
Milford.
Easiest run of the night.
They definitely got away with a hold. Held.
Yeah, right there by number 85. That's a hold.
Held.
Should have been called.
He swung Trey Baker around and doed with him.
That's the only way you can stop him is you got to commit a penalty, and
That was
hopefully
a
the refs
square
aren't
dance
looking.
right there. Wow. And that'll be a huge play if Milford actually ends up bringing this one back, but looking very unlikely as
4.5 minutes left. But
the Firebirds have controlled the heck out of this ball.
I'm assuming an onside kick is coming from Milford. High snap kick is up. Low kick, but it is still good. 28-21 with 4:29 left in the game. Fairmont, if they get the ball, I mean, Milford has 3 timeouts, but Fairmont has been able to move the ball so well this second half. It'll be interesting to see what Milford calls to do. Is it going to be an onside kick, or do you try and pin them deep and get your defense step
I'll be
up?
very interested if they even have an answer for them. It's something different to come at them with.
All right, here we go.
This right here.
This could be the play of the game, depending on what Milford does.
And if they're going for an onside, Fairmont doesn't seem to be very equipped for it.
If we could get a wide shot of the field, we can show you the ball has to go. They're at the 40. It has to go to midfield. Unless a member of the Firebirds touches it, it's an immediate live ball. Grace Ertl on to potentially either give Milford the ball back. It's an onside kick. It goes to the 50, and it's going to be a scramble for the ball.
And I think Fairmont is at the bottom of that, but we'll see the call here.
Let's see who comes out with
They're
the
still
ball.
fighting, actually.
Take a look at the replay.
It's going to be
Fairmont
ball.
kept it. Good attempt there for the Eagles. I would not be mad at that.
Yeah, very good hustle on both sides. That's what you want to see on a special teams play like that. And that could have been a huge pendulum swing, but instead it is some reassurance for the Fairmont offense.
4:25 left. Fairmont has the ball.
And this is their money right here. This is what their program is built on solidifying, is these late leads by one possession. And the triple option usually takes care of these nail biters rather quickly, Jared, but we'll see if any mistake is made.
Braden under center. Thompson from top to bottom of your screen. Miller hands off to DeGlow. DeGlow across midfield. And let's see, does Milford use the timeout? Yes, they do.
Used the first one.
Yes, Milford's first timeout.
Those timeouts could end up being very big. But they're already starting to use them.
I know. Miller calls his timeouts randomly throughout the game. I don't think he cares about them. It'd be interesting. Does Fairmont just try and keep it safe, keep it in the middle of the field, and just try and drive the clock down? Or do you try and pick up a first down? If you're the Firebirds. I mean, granted, you want to try and pick up the first down, but I mean, will you go away from your game plan today to pick up a first down here late and I put this game on ice? I mean, we're walking to the freezer with it. It's about time. You see Miller and the coaching staff walk away. Miller and the offense goes back out on the field after the Milford timeout. 2nd and 6 with 4:17 left.
And Milford will have 6 setting up just
7
on the line.
Well, 1 just backed off, but still, that's 9 in the box. Miller under center. Miller hands off to DeGlow. No, Miller keeps it, and a flag on the play.
Forward progress is definitely going to have some positive yardage, but see the flag.
Looks like it'll be a sideline warning against Fairmont. So it'll be 3rd and 6. Interesting. Milford doesn't take the timeout there to keep the clock, but I mean, if you can stop them here, you'd only need you'd only use 1 timeout, and you could save it for later. Milford trying to pump up their their side. Miller under center. Miller pitches out to DeGlow. DeGlow across the 50. DeGlow will be close to a first down, and I believe he got it.
And the big defensive stand will not work, and I don't even know if he was knocked out of bounds there, Jared. You see on the City Barbecue replay, they'll just do a simple pitch, and most of that defensive penetration is straight down the middle, and that's where the problem was. They did not swoop the defense whatsoever, and he had that sideline to work on.
What was that, swoop?
Is that a word?
I think so. But that's the first pitch, really, or true pitch we've seen from the Firebirds tonight. Improvisation. Take what the defense gives you, and you give him something else. DeGlow with another hard run, and he'll get about 6 on the play. In Milford, for some reason, takes a timeout. Oh, there's a flag on the play. I did not see it. Dead ball, personal foul against Fairmont.
Gotcha. So maybe some unnecessary roughness and sportsmanlike conduct.
So that will negate the run by DeGlow.
And huge setbacks here, and mistakes like that could give Milford the ball back.
And the penalty stops the clock.
Yes, it does.
So it'll be 1st and 25.
Huge setback here now.
Maybe we might see the rare pass coming from the Firebirds offense on this play.
We'll see how Milford plays it, if they're going to send some guys back or keep that box filled. It looks like.
Actually, my apologies. It was after the play, so it'll be 2nd down and 20 instead of 1st and 25.
Gotcha.
So a gain of 5 offensively and a penalty will knock you back 15. And the penalty did not stop the clock for some reason. And I think
That's
flag.
A pass.
Miller going to keep it. Miller across midfield. And I think the Firebirds offense was looking for the flag. It looked like they got the Eagles to jump.
Trying to get him to jump again, but
3rd down, and Milford will call its 2nd timeout. Let's pay attention to the end of the line. It looked like maybe that defensive lineman jumped, but maybe he got back. 3rd and 12 coming, though, out of Milford's 2nd timeout. 12 yards. I mean, does Fairmont risk the pass? The only reason, it looked like a broken play from the beginning, and I think Fairmont was anticipating a flag being thrown. That's why he had Miller so far out there by himself. But he turned what could have been a loss into an 8-yard gain.
Right. I say if Fairmont has a draw on its playbook anywhere, I think you pull it out here. That would be
I don't think they know what that is. Talking about a quarterback draw or a halfback draw? Yeah, that should have been a
Definitely.
offsides or encroachment at minimum.
And second penalty that we have clearly spotted out, not called on the Eagles tonight.
Maybe we should put on the pinstripe or the stripes. Couldn't do any worse. 3rd and 12 from the 44, 2:44 left. If Milford gets a stop, I'm for sure they would call their last timeout.
It looks like it's going to be a run here.
Braden back to pass, pitches out to DeGlow. DeGlow
He
can
has
get
that
the
seam.
edge, but he's going to wisely stay in bounds. And Milford will call its last timeout with 2:34 left. 4th down and a punt coming for the Firebirds.
And this is where the nail-biting starts, Jared. As the Eagles will get an opportunity to tie this one up.
Braden Miller held on to that till the last possible second. A gain of 6 on the play by DeGlow.
And so they'll use their final timeout. I have a feeling that'll end up biting them.
I was looking at Fairmont's players they had on the field. Brian Hall was not on the field out there when they were lined up for that punt formation.
Huh.
This is not the time to try and gamble with this. 2nd and 30, or 4th and 6, 2:34 left in the game. Fairmont up 7, 28-21. I mean, even if Fairmont pooch punts it and puts it in the end zone, it's still a 20-yard punt.
Yeah. Well, I definitely think they're going to try to pin him with Hall. Hall has proven to be moderately accurate as a punter, so. definitely
Nope.
interesting to see.
They're going
They're
for it. The
going to
Firebirds
go
are
for
going
it.
for it.
Fairmont is coming out,
Well,
putting it all on the table.
14 seconds left on the play clock. Maybe Fairmont has one
Trying to get 'em
timeout.
offside.
Maybe Miller tries and draws them off sides and get a 4th and 1, and then maybe go for it. But either way, Fairmont's lined up. Fairmont will hike it, and DeGlow gets the pitch, and it's a fumble, and the
Wow.
Eagles fall on it at the 47.
Wow.
Of all the possible things that
Oh
could have went
my
wrong for the Firebirds,
goodness.
a fumble is the worst. Milford has life with 2.5 minutes left.
And gigantic mistake by the senior running back. And that's not going to be easy on him, Jared. You know he is going to be talking to himself tonight.
I'm not really blaming that one. I would blame the coaching staff in that situation. You have the lead, 2.5 minutes left. You punt the ball.
Well, I think if DeGlow gets
The
that carry,
defense-
he might have it.
I don't think so. There was 3 men on that side of the field and only one blocker.
Well, it's always a possibility. You
Yeah,
have to,
yeah.
you definitely have to catch the carry first.
But I say you take the game into your own hands. The defense has come up strong the last 2 possessions.
we'll see. Johnson back.
Johnson
Lobs
airing it out, and it's a wide open Hughes, and he stays on his feet down to the 35 with 2:20 left.
An
The clock will
excellent
stop.
throw. Zipped it right over Khalil Whitaker-Jones' zone.
Tackled by Hall, 35, and Milford is on the line ready to hike it.
Already no huddle offense.
Milford, Johnson, back to pass,
Screen.
screen pass.
And
Then-
they almost had it in the backfield, and he is
Kells making plays. Will have the first down.
so penetrating at the wrong times in the wrong places. Fairmont has given up a lot of big yards on screen plays tonight. Will be a point of emphasis next week, I'm
Ooh.
guessing.
If
Went
Fugate,
right past-
if Fugate could have his arms.
That was Jonas Smith.
Oh, that was Smith. If Smith could have his hand, maybe he has a deflection on that screen pass. 1:50 left in the game. Johnson back to pass.
Has the
Johnson
out route.
going to the far sideline, and it's almost intercepted
Oh, wow. He was going for
by
the over route.
Hall.
Going for the out route, but overthrew it by
Yeah.
a lot. As you see him, as soon as he bolts out, throws it over his back.
And Hall almost comes up with a diving interception.
That would have been gigantic.
That would have been his second game-sealing interception this year, the one against Alter Week 1, and that one could have sealed the game.
Oh, yeah.
1:43 left, 3rd and 1 at the 26.
They'll
Kells
run it here.
Gets the first down, and I think that's all they were running was just to get the first down. Baker with the tackle. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 25 for Milford.
And Trey and Garrett have been after it all night versus those runs. And they'll
Milford
bring a
back
blitz.
to pass immediately, and it is blown up in the backfield by Jonas Smith.
Wow, tremendous play. And at the last second, they went with the overload blitz. If we can see a replay at that one.
This is what Miller has been having this defense do all year, is just attacking the line of scrimmage.
And it was all a matter of perfect timing, all at the same time. All the linebackers approached the line of scrimmage and exploded through for a huge stop on the
110, high snap for Johnson. Johnson tucks it, gets rid of it, flips it off to Kells, and Kells has to the outside route, and Kells will be close to the 20.
Wow, that was a big play for a Firebirds.
56 seconds left. This is 4th down, so it should be the game, or 3rd and 6. 43 seconds left in the game, 3rd and 7. Johnson back to pass. Johnson airing it out on the sideline, has the catch. No, he calls it incomplete, out of bounds.
And that'll
Let's
be 4th
take
and 7.
a look at that replay. 4th and 7 with 33.2 seconds left. No, yeah, that's a good call. His foot was out of bounds when he caught it. That is a good call by the refs right there.
I'm not disagreeing with you, just very controversial.
33 seconds left, 4th and 7. Both sides are on their feet.
The play of the game, Jared.
Johnson lined up in shotgun formation. Johnson
Kells will
back
be
to
blocking.
pass. And it's a complete down to the 8-yard line.
And they're going to
About
have
the
to no
6.
huddle.
Well, the first down stops the clock momentarily. 27.8 seconds left.
Momentarily is the proper word.
Johnson spikes it with 25.6 seconds left. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
I can hear you. 25.6 left with this one. All or nothing for the Milford Eagles.
Fairmont still does have a timeout left in their pocket if they should take it on defense here. Johnson lined up in shotgun. Kells scampers around to the right. Johnson rolling to the right.
And they'll try to have the flat to Kells.
Johnson's going to run it, and he's going to be tackled for loss at about the 9. 17 seconds left. The ball
Trey
came
Baker and
out.
Jonas Smith all over it.
12 seconds left. The refs have not hiked it yet. 10, 8, 5, 4, 3. Johnson spikes it with 3.3 seconds left.
And here we are, Jared, the ultimate nail biter. It will come down to 4th and 7.
Johnson has got to get rid of this ball, as you see in the replay. You do not take a sack there. You get rid of it. 4th and 9, 3.3 seconds left. You can hear both sides of the field. The refs are huddled up for some reason.
Huge all or nothing.
This
for
is
the Milford
play
Eagles.
of the game.
One receiver lined up to the left.
Johnson
He'll look
back
right.
to pass, rolling to the right. Johnson throws it back across the field, and it's incomplete.
Firebirds game with 0 left. 2-1 to kick off the season. And how about that for week 3 of MVCC Game of the Week?
Fairmont survives Milford's comeback and wins it on the last play of the game. Here it is, the final play of the game. Johnson rolling back to the right, throws it back across, just over the outstretched arms of the tight end, number 85. That is Connor Foster. And you see the teams will line up and do handshakes, and that is by far one of the better games we've seen so far this year in our MVCC Game of the Week. Fairmont wins 28-21 after a nail-biting finish against the Milford Eagles. We remind you next week we will be the Valley View Spartans at the Oakwood Lumberjacks. Signing off for the rest of Miami Valley Communications crew, I'm Jared Bergstrom alongside Jeff Allen.
That's all, folks.